Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the Spanish tragedy and we get to hear from Hieronimo again today in Act 4, Scene 1. Now, this is the scene where we're getting into a play within a play. We kicked off the scene with Hieronimo and Bellimperia sort of re-upping their commitment to getting revenge, at which point Balthazar and Lorenzo came in and said that the king wanted Hieronimo to help the two of them put on a show, and Hieronimo was like, oh, how fortunate, I happen to have this play, well, let's put on this play. And they're like, well, what's it about? And it's the story of this Knight of Rhodes who was engaged to be married to Percetta, who everybody thought was gorgeous. And then this other guy, Solomon, decided that he wanted to be with Percetta. So he talked to one of his friends about it. And they decided that the only way that he could be with Percetta was for the husband, the knight, to be killed. So they killed him, and then Percetta got her revenge on Solomon by killing him and then killing herself, and then the friend killed himself out of guilt in the whole thing. So he casts the whole show, this whole thing, and he says, I believe he's going to play the friend, he's going to play the murderer, and I believe Balthazar is to play Solomon, and Lorenzo is to play the Knight of Rhodes, and Bellimperia is like, and who am I supposed to play? And Hieronimo responds to her by saying, Percetta, chaste and resolute. And here, my lords, are several abstracts drawn for each of you to note your parts, and act it as occasions offered you. You must provide a Turkish cap, a black mustachio, and a falchion. You with a cross, like to a Knight of Rhodes. And madam, you must attire yourself like Phoebe, Flora, or the huntress, which to your discretion shall seem best. As for me, my lords, I'll look to one, and with the ransom that the viceroy sent, so furnish and perform this tragedy, as all the world shall say, Hieronimo was liberal in gracing of it so. So he's doing some directing in this monologue. He's finished his casting. Everybody has their parts, and now he's giving them like some costume advice, saying, you know, you need to dress this way. You need to make sure that you have that. Bellimperia, pick any of these muses to choose from to dress yourself how you will. I'm going to go get the set and all of that kind of stuff ready to go, and I'm going to use the money that the Viceroy of Portugal had sent us in order to put together the rest of the production. And they're all like, okay, cool, but wouldn't it make more sense for us to do a comedy than a tragedy? And Hieronimo's like, nobody likes comedies. They're for stupid people. Tragedy is where the real heart of things is, and trust me, this is going to be the good part. And they're like, okay, fine. And he says, oh, and one more thing. In order to stay like true to the plot, we each need to speak in a different language. So you're going to speak in Latin, I'm going to speak in Greek, you're going to speak Italian, and Bellimperia, you're going to speak French. And they're like, isn't that just going to confuse everybody? And he's like, no. When it all comes together at the end, it'll make sense. So go off and practice your parts, and then we'll meet all together again, and we'll be able to do this whole thing. So they all scatter to go take care of the things that they need to take care of to prep for this show. And Hieronimo has one last sort of mwah-ha-ha-ha-ha moment on stage where almost literally he's going mwah-ha-ha-ha-ha. He's pleased with himself, and he's like, if people don't like this play, then we're going to have words. And that's the end of Act 4, Scene 1. So we've got a play within a play that's going to mirror the stuff that's going on. And I'm just wondering if your brains are going in the same direction as mine in terms of the way that things could fall out. And if it is, you just got to come back and see if you're right. And if it isn't, you got to come back and find out if you're wrong. So one way or the other, come on back as we finish out this play and figure out where and when and how the revenge is actually going to happen, if it's going to happen. Do you think it's going to happen? Leave me a comment, and I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.